Hi guys, gonna have a crack at doing Sca Fell today. So I'm gonna go up via Lord's Rake, which is notorious for being quite steep and quite tricky, so it should be quite interesting. It's a bit breezy, it looks like it could rain, but we'll take it as it comes. So we'll see what we see. I'll bring you guys back later. Now at this point I had to stop and retrieve my cap after it was whipped off my head by the strong winds and nearly ended up in the water.
Heck, breezy. One minute it was there, next minute, woo! It stopped. It didn't carry on going, did it? Or it could have ended up in the water as well.
We're going up there. Well, as you can see, we've got a bit of clag up ahead. Hopefully that'll lift before we get there. But, you know, if it doesn't, so be it. We won't get the great views, but if it does, we'll be in for a treat. It's been a few weeks since I've managed to get out for a walk, as you've probably noticed, so I haven't been able to upload any new footage, but I'm hoping to be out and about for the next few weeks. Could be interesting. Whoa! Quite tricky. That, gentlemen, is how we do that. We're just gonna have a go. Steady on, lad. Textbook. For those of you who haven't done Sca Fell Pike or Sca Fell before, this is probably one of the best managed paths that there is on any of the routes in the Lake District. You'll find these well-maintained rocky paths with stone steps for the majority of it, and then eventually when you get near the summit of Sca Fell Pike, it tends to just be an indeterminate path. It's just rocks everywhere, so it's a bit like a lunar landscape at the top. I've never done Sca Fell before, so I don't really know what to expect. I've seen videos of other people doing the route via Lord's Rake, and it looks challenging and steep, so it should be quite interesting. So I'm sure it'll be quite eventful. Hi guys, well as you can see the weather's turned a bit nasty, so we're coping with not only high winds but now we've got the clag and also driving rain, so it's not the best of conditions, but plod on, make the most of it, hopefully it'll blow over. Well, as you can see guys, we've just had a small break in the clouds and just taking the opportunity to get some footage. I feel like most of it's been hidden in the flag until now, so as you can see it's quite a dramatic landscape here. It's the first time I've been in this area, so I've never done before or this particular route, and if you've never done it before, you're definitely in for a treat. It's some of the most dramatic landscape I've seen in the lakes, to be honest with you, so far on all the walks that I've done. So really looking forward to starting Lord's Rake, which is about another 50 to 100 yards further up. We cut up to the right and it's somewhere up there. Right guys, we're just about to start our ascent of Lord's Rake. As you can see, the weather's moved in again. It's gone very, very claggy, and the wind's back, and of course it's raining. You know, don't think it could get much worse. But you know, it is what it is. Here we are. We've come this far. We're going to make sure we finish it. So all I can say is sit back in the comfort of your armchair at home and watch us struggle on with this. We had to fight our way up. Just see if I can show you. We had to fight our way up that scree slope there, which was, I would say that was a grade 1 scramble for a start. As you can see by how quick the clouds moving, you can see how much of a wind there is. Kept throwing us off balance, and the rain was battering us all the while, so it was quite tough. Oh. So this is like a path that traverses across the side of Sca Fell, and at the end of it should be Lord's Rake. Yeah, there's our first glimpse of Lord's Rake. Oh, it looks shorter than I imagined, but it does look, from this angle, more or less vertical. As you can see, the clouds suddenly lifted. Just get a quick panoramic view while I've got the chance. As you can see, it's quite dramatic landscape. That's the path we came up there, and then up this pretty tough scramble up to this ridge path. I think this is an area called Mickledore. Hello. They're used to it. Yeah. Looks interesting. What do you reckon to it, Louis?
Rocky.
Rocky?
Yeah.
How about the steepness?
Yeah, it was pretty steep. Steeper than what we've just done. And that was pretty tough.
Right, so you get to Lord's Rake, and this is what you're presented with. Right folks, here we go. Loads of rake. Try and use as much of the side rock face as much as I can. It's quite a big stream, so it's easier than the very, very fine stuff you get. But having said that, it is a bit like a wind tunnel. That gale force wind shooting up from behind us that keeps throwing us off balance. This looks like you might be struggling a bit. No let up from the wind here, guys. If anything, it's made the wind feel stronger. Woo! I think we're about halfway up. For those of you who are thinking of having a crack at this, I'd recommend it, but probably when the conditions are a bit better than when we're doing it. Yeah. Even though it's July, it's absolutely bitter. I haven't brought my gloves with me, my hands are freezing. I'm regretting it really, but I'll soldier on. It's because of the wind chill factor. It's easier to try and traverse, zigzag up, if you just take it head on and just go for it. There's pockets of it that are quite loose, fine scree, and then there's pockets where it's quite rocky, so you can get a purchase on it and you can make sort of half decent progress. Ooh. 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 Oh well, as you can see, gotta be careful. Woo! Famous last words. I'm sure it makes for good YouTube footage, but I can assure you that did hurt. Flouted my hip. Woo! Gotta be careful, as always. Sure, I'll have a big bruise on my hip tomorrow. Look at that. Some big boys here. Been there a while. Let's hope they stay there until we've gone past. Imagine if that big rock started rumbling.
Like some kind of Indiana Jones.
Not good. Don't put too much weight on it on everything. I feel like another slide coming on. That thing is squishy. I'm not sure if that's what's left of what they call the lodestone. I know there used to be a big rock that used to be sort of diagonally across, wedged. It's either that or it's that one that's collapsed a bit further ahead. But I think you used to have to duck underneath it, so somebody might have been approaching it one day and then it suddenly collapsed before they got there. Imagine that. Scary, wouldn't it? Now the Chockstone is reported to have collapsed from its diagonal position sometime in mid-2016. Let's have a go at this. Probably not a good idea, to be honest with you. Not while I'm holding the camera. I don't think it's possible, to be honest with you. Just rest you there for a second. Oh man. Get to the top of here, is what you're met with. There's another stretch to go up. So there is another alternative route off to the right as you approach these rocks. It sort of brings you up round the back of there and then through here. Looks well worn, so I'm guessing most people try it that way. Narrow, isn't it? Surprised I managed to get up there loads of rake with while I was holding the camera. Quite tough, really. So I feel that this is fairly short-lived, this part, not too bad. I think there's one more bit after this as well that we've got to do. I hooked up quite a bang there, quite tender. It's all stepping work when you're doing things like this, so give me a bit of jip. Oh wow. View back there, looking back. I feel like one of us is going to come across her again at some stage. Probably me, because I'm heavier than Lewis. Gravity's fighting against me. More of a low to slide, let's say that slightly. Ooh, bloody hell. Oh, this is precarious, man. The valley down below that we came up. Yeah, that's the last slope there, I think. Over there towards that rock over there. So quite bad conditions. The rocks are all covered in algae and they're all wet from that heavy rain, so you know it's kind of adding that extra level of risk. But I could imagine if it was a nice still day and lovely and sunny, this would be quite a nice dramatic route. Say, looking back on some of the ways that we've come. So we came through that gap there, I don't know if you can see that little notch in the rocks. Then we came down that scree slope. So that's the valley that we came up, and there, I don't know if you can see that zigzag path there. That's the path that leads to the summit of Sca Fell Pike. In the distance, a bit of sun in that spotlight in that distant valley. It's good, isn't it? It's lit up. Huh? Yeah, we could, yeah. Just needs coming about a mile this way. So there we go, we can see our last, I think it's our last scree slope on this Lord's Rake ascent. It looks quite loose, this one. Not as many big rocks and boulders to get a purchase, so see how we get on. I think if I'm right, I think you get presented with a really good view of Wast Water. The woods looks promising. Light at the end of the tunnel, or in this instant, light at the end of the gully. Wow. Well done, sir. Yeah, there's the notch that came through. That's it. Lord's Rake. Notched off. Just gonna have a breather here and then make our way round to the top. Go up there and round to the left. bit like the approach to the summit of Sca Fell Pike. Very rocky, no real discernible route, very easy to lose the path.
Now the summit of Sca Fell sits at 964 metres or 3,163 feet above sea level and is the second highest of the Wainwright Fells.
That's it guys, made it to the summit of Sca Fell. Quite a tough one, it's quite a tough route up Lord's Rake, but quite interesting. Highly recommended if you're up for the challenge. Yeah, it's been a good walk. Bits of the views aren't with us, but it's like that sometimes. Hi guys, different day now. Still got that wind, but at least it's dry now and the sun's out, which is good, and it's a good degree warmer than it was when we were on the ascent. But we're basically coming down the same way as we went up. There's the scree slope that we went up before we cut off to the right to go towards Lord's Rake. So we're just going to make our slow descent down to Wasdale Head and maybe get a pint in the Wasdale Hotel, I think it's called. Well, that'd be rude not to, wouldn't it? It's been a couple of weeks since I've been out for a walk, and you know how it is, sometimes life gets in the way, doesn't it? You're busy doing other things. So I've been meaning to get out. So to come out and do one that has been quite challenging, it's been quite tough really, but enjoyed it. It's always nice when you've ticked another Wainwright off. I have to say the route, I think we only saw 3 lads going up. Everybody else seems to peel off towards Sca Fell Pike, which of course is the tallest peak in England. So it's a bit of a mecca for people coming to do it, not if only for that, but usually because they're trying to do the 3 peaks challenge. Been a good old munch, not a care in the world. Look at that. Black sheep of the family. Sorry, couldn't resist. It's my humour. Nice little stretch this alongside this watercourse. feel like there's been such a lot of effort put into building this path, but not as much effort in helping you get across the water. Not very many big stones that you can jump onto that are obvious to stop you getting your feet wet. When you look at it, I mean, you're practically just walking through the water. This could be comedy gold. Well, that's a bit dodgy, that. And he's safely across. I would say for those of you who are thinking about trying this, it's quite tough. So, you know, I would expect you to have a certain reasonable amount of fitness. I mean, I'm not fit by any stretch of the imagination, but probably fitter than some that might attempt this. But if you go like the Lord's Rake route, some tough scree slopes, and that's bad enough in itself. But obviously a long slog to get up there, and the terrain up to the summit of Sca Fell is quite rugged, to say the least. You could easily twist your ankle or something like that on the rocks. There's no discernible path in a lot of the stretches at the top. So yeah, I mean, it's not for a beginner, that's what I would say. Or if you are a beginner, I certainly would allow plenty of time to finish the walk. It's not something you can do in a couple of hours. I think we've been walking for about 5 hours now doing this. You know, you need plenty of rest, that's for sure. Quite punishing on your legs and your knees. Well, that's it guys, we're coming up on the finish of the walk. Hope you've enjoyed it. I know I've enjoyed it, and certainly Lewis has. If you have, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons, and join me again soon for another adventure. Bye for now.